Hi everyone, welcome back again to politics today. I just want to show you this quickly. We don't want to waste much time today, but you would have heard that subsidy has been removed and queues returned in the filling stations. And what does it mean that subsidy has been removed? Because subsidy was paid for until um, end of June. So we should have subsidy in place until the end of June, but the new um, administration that is still being challenged in court came in and mentioned that subsidy is gone, and boom, lines returns, fuel costs went high. And I just want you to see what is going to look at this. Fuel price went from 185 naira to a liter to in some places 450, in some places 600. As you can see here, 600 naira. In some places, it went from about 200 to 1,000 in some places. This is crazy. And guess what? Okay, in some places you can see 750 in River State, black market. We can. Kudos, sir. Good luck. So from 193 to 500 in some places. And there were reports of places where it went as high as 1,000. And this is BBC website, right? So, ladies, web price across Nigeria after Tinubu's speech on subsidy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what is happening. Many people in Nigeria have become numb to the situation. Many of us have become numb to the situation. Whatever happens, we just accept it. And many people, for some reason, they will tell you, oh, it is the will of God. I tell you, no, it is not. It is not the will of God for us to suffer. And if you want to talk about the will of God, I can tell you that the will of God is for us to prosper and be in good health, right? So stop saying that it is the will of God for us to suffer. No, it is not. It is not the will of God for us to suffer this way. You know, when we can get better, people have voted, people thought this is the way we want to go, and others impose themselves on us. And you're telling us it's the will of God. No, it is not. I'll tell you what I think. I think many people say, why do bad things happen to good people and so on and so forth? And if God is good, why does evil happen? And I have a simple analogy, and the analogy goes like this: this earth, just liken it to a house, and God as the landlord. So God built a house and gives it to tenants to live in. The Bible says that God has given everybody time and season and territory to live on earth, right? So He's the landlord. He has built the house and He has leased it to us to live in. Now, it is up to us what we do in our houses. And if the roof is leaking, or the gas is not running, or there's electrical problem, you call the landlord to fix the place, right? So that's what you do. You call him and say, please fix this place is broken. But if you don't tell him, if you don't report to the landlord in prayer, then you're gonna just stay in that position, in that broken state. That's what is happening. This earth is leased to us to live in for a while. There is a reason God has given us this earth to live in for a while. And while we are in it, it is up to us what we do. He has created us and made provisions for us. And we have the free will to choose our leaders. Now, if we refuse to choose good leaders and we choose the bad ones, this is what happens. So they come in, and this is what they've done to us. As I was saying in the scriptures, Acts chapter 17, verse 26, he said, God has determined the times and places of the nations. So He has given us the time and places, the boundaries for us to exist in. And until our lease is over, it is up to us what we do in that house. We can ask Him for help, or we just live in the state that we've created for ourselves. So let's stop saying it is the will of God. Is it the will of God that in America, many of us are running to America and UK? Is it the will of God that they will be living in affluence while we suffer? No, it is not. It is not. It's the same God for everybody. So let's stop, accusing God of what He hasn't done. This is what is happening. So let's go back to this subsidy. The fuel subsidy was paid for until the end of June. They've already spent 3.6 trillion naira on subsidy, and that covers them until the end of June. So why make any announcement now? If there's no counter announcement or countermeasure to cushion the effect, why make that utterance? Why? Already we know they had a plan. Dangote will start producing in July. So if the subsidy ends in June, because you could ask, why did they just plan for half a year? If the subsidy ends by end of June and Dangote will produce in July, which is a local production, then you don't have to pay subsidy for internally refined crude or oil, internally refined oil, because you are no longer paying importation subsidy. So it makes sense that naturally you just transition from importing to producing locally, although that gives Dangote another monopoly, just like you have with sugar and so many other things and cement. It gives him another monopoly to control, but at least it will be internal. But now, these guys went and made an utterance without any plan to cushion the effect, and you can see it jumps right away from 185 to 500 in some places to 1000 in some places to 600 in some places, right? And I want to ask the civil servants, especially those who are APC card carrying members, do you buy the fuel cheaper anywhere? Wiki and the rest of you guys, do you guys buy it cheaper? When you go to the filling station, do you buy it cheaper? When you show your APC card, when you show how you help to rig the election, do they let you buy it cheaper? I'm just asking a question. Do they let you buy it cheaper? Do they let you buy it for the old 185 naira because you have to rig the election? Because you have to put down another for personal vendetta? Do you buy it cheaper? I know so many people say, "Oh, but Peter Obi said he will also remove subsidy. He will remove subsidy." So why are we now saying the obedience are accusing other people? But Obi said he will remove subsidy. I'm gonna play what he said for himself by himself. So you don't say that I said. Listen to him. He said he will remove it. I'm an interpreter for everyone. I'm not gonna hide what he said. I will play it for you. You tell me what you think. All right. So let me play Obi's. Make sure that I have everything loud and clear. So I'll play it for you. All right. So let's get that playing. That's on this tab. So listen to him.
Paying for subsidy. You need to remove it. If you remove security today, if you deal with security today, and your farmers go back to farm, and food prices come down, you remove subsidy and deal with corruption, your inflation will come down.
Did you notice the order? First of all, you deal with insecurity, then you get the farmers back to the farm, then you reduce the food prices, then you remove subsidy. There is a sequence, there is an order. He explained it better in another interview on Arise TV. First of all, you deal with insecurity. There are steps to these things. If someone says, once I get home, I'm going to take shower, it doesn't mean he will walk into the shower like that. He will remove his clothes, he will get his towel, he will go to the washroom, he's going to turn it on and take shower. And you can say whatever you want to say. He said he's going to take shower also when he gets home. And then you go get home and just enter the shower without removing your clothes. You're a crazy person. First of all, you deal with insecurity. Then farmers can go to the farm. When they go back to the farm, it takes a while for the crops to grow and mature and be harvested and brought to the market. It's a process of time. So when food prices drop, then you remove subsidy because you don't want to heap problem upon problem on the people. They are suffering already. So that's all. Cure insecurity, reduce food prices, then remove subsidy and deal with corruption. There's an order. In another interview, he said, in Arise News, he said, I will not remove the subsidy without giving the people something. If I cannot give them something, I will not remove it. But many people, the politicians understand us very well. They know we forget easily. So they will twist something and make us argue with ourselves on those things. But the facts are still out there, and internet never forgets. So find that interview with Arise News that will be granted, in which he said that before I remove subsidy, I must make sure I am giving the people something. If I cannot give them something, I will not remove it. Because they will not trust you, because they have been, beaten once before. They will not trust you. So he has to give them something in return for something. And then he will redirect that subsidy for something else, for education, for other things, for health, for infrastructure. He listed all these things. Even in this interview, he listed these things. But he didn't talk about the giving them something in return. At least the section that I played for you. So look out for that interview on Arise News, and you'll hear him say that before I remove subsidy, I must first of all make sure that I give the people something in return. And here he has said, he has given us the order, the sequence of events. He said, first of all, I will make sure that I deal with insecurity. Then I will get the farmers back to the farm. When they start producing and the food prices drop, then I will remove subsidy. I'm going to play one more time because it doesn't take time for people to misconstrue what is very clear and what is very easy to understand. So let's play one more time.
You need to remove it. If you remove security today, if you deal with security today, and your farmers go back to farm, and food prices come down, you remove subsidy and deal with corruption, your inflation will come down.
Did you hear that one?
Thank you.
And that's where it actually ended. So first of all, we have to deal with insecurity. When you deal with insecurity, then you can remove subsidy. I'll play it one more time, one last time, to avoid any confusion. I'm going to play it in full screen, so that nobody can say they didn't understand.
Deficit budgeting of today. If you deal with security today, and your farmers go back to farm, and food prices come down, you remove subsidy and deal with corruption, your inflation will come down.
Did you see the order? It was an and situation. It's not an or situation. You deal with insecurity and farmers go back to the market and the food prices drop. So in other words, if you cure insecurity and farmers go back to the market but food prices doesn't drop, you don't remove subsidy, because they are all and situations. I said I'll play one more time, but maybe I just have to repeat it again so you can understand. It is an and situation. How we do this, then, and how we do that, and how we do that. So let's play it one more time, just to avoid any confusion.
Farm today, you need to remove it. If you remove security today, if you deal with security today, and your farmers go back to farm, and food prices come down, you remove subsidy.
Okay, we can stop it here. So you saw that. So you have to take care of insecurity first, and your farmers return to the farm because they need to get confidence that they're not going to be slaughtered in their farms. And food prices drop, then you remove subsidy. All right, so you can accuse someone of anything, but at least say what they say. And don't take little sound bites. Listen to the full context of an interview. Like I said, once I get home today, I'm going to take shower. But you have sense. You know what I mean. That I'm going to remove my clothes. I'm not just going to get home and start taking shower. I'm going to remove my clothes. And get my towel. Get to the shower. Turn it on. If I need to boil hot water, I'll boil it. Get my soap. Get my sponge. Then I take shower. If you just want to say what I said, he said when he gets home he's going to take shower, so I'm going to take shower too. You walk in with your work clothes, enter the bathroom and start pouring water on yourself. People might call for intervention on you because they might think you lost some nuts on your head, on your brain, right? And that's what is happening. People went from paying 200 naira to 1,000 naira in a day, from the 29th to the 30th of the same month, in a day, under 24 hours. Someone told me they paid 550 naira per liter. Someone who paid yesterday 185 today paid 550 naira per liter. For those of you that are employed, today is the last day of the month. So when the salary comes out, please let me know if you get paid. When you get paid, let me know if you get paid 500% what you used to get paid, if you get paid when it is due, because many people don't get paid on the day it is due. They don't get paid a month later, 2 months later, 6 months later, 1 year later. They don't get paid. I heard that those professors that helped to rig elections, the time they were on strike for 8 months, they won't get paid. And I was gonna give an advice to Tinubu and his people, if they can hear me. All the people that they give money to, now that they're in power, they should get those people back and collect their money. Collect your money back. Everybody you give money to, you get money to collect your money back, right? And kick them out, because they're gonna sell you out once they have a higher bidder. Take your money and kick them out. They can't do nothing. I mean, you already bought the whole system. Collect your money back. Let those guys know what they've done to themselves and to the posterity and to generations unborn, because you can't trust them. I hope that you came in through a corrupt means to do good, and so hopefully, because I think that's probably a way to get Nigeria on track, is to use a Jerry Rawlings-esque approach. Come in there by all means necessary and do good. And you are there already. Try to do good by all means necessary until the case is determined in court. And I wish that the will of the people is respected and you are kicked out. But until then, collect your money back from these guys.